Buy fear, sell greed. There are a lot of people gloating right now at the demise of the Kansas City Chiefs after seeing Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher cut today. But those people who are gloating today should be terrified about tomorrow. Because if these two moves signal anything, it's that Kansas City's about to get aggressive. It would be one thing to remedy the cap and to look to find a way just to pacify the $183 million cap number this year. But with Kansas City cutting these two early, it's signaling that they will be aggressive. And there's a way that they can be aggressive. There are two things to specifically look at with the Kansas City Chiefs salary cap. The first is that to this point, they have not pushed a dime into the future. That is a good place to start from. And the second is that Kansas City's salary cap structure with the contracts that they put in massive roster bonuses, and roster bonuses are piggy banks. So right this moment, yes, Kansas City is down 2 tackles. They are $4 to $7 million over the cap from where you look at, and it doesn't look like it's a good situation for them to be in. Let's look at those piggy banks, shall we? They have a $21 million roster bonus on Patrick Mahomes that they can prorate over 5 years and save $17 million. They have a $20 million roster bonus on Chris Jones that they can prorate over the next 3 years and save themselves $13 million. They have a 7.75 roster bonus on Travis Kelce they can prorate over the next 5 years, saving them $6.2 million. They also have Tyreek Hill on a nearly $12 million roster bonus that can be prorated over the next 2 years, saving $6 million. On top of that, you can look at Hitchens, who has a post June 1 cut, could save Kansas City an additional $6 million off the cap, $6 to $7 million off the cap this year. And Honey Badger is looking at the last year of his contract. An extension, even at $17, $18 million a year, could help them drop that cap number this year by an additional $9 million. When all is said and done, Kansas City has the ability to open up $40 to $45 million of space for the 2021 season. What does that mean for Kansas City? That means you can go by the immortal words of T.I. You can have whatever you like. There are teams across this league floundering, trying to get to the 183 cap number, who are struggling with this situation in front of them. Kansas City could see this as a buyer's market and push. You buy in a buyer's market, you sell in a seller's market. And with the cap space freedom that Kansas City has and the roster bonus piggy banks that they've stacked up on the roster, Kansas City can go into free agency negotiating with whatever player they want. As soon as they get a value that they like, break open a piggy bank. And now that player's on the team and the money has been pushed into the future. People are talking about now that they have to pay Mahomes, they're in cap trouble. No. Because Mahomes could be paid $7 million this year. So if you take the events of today as a sign that this is the end of the road for Kansas City, this is just the beginning of the road. Kansas City making the moves they did today opens up the flexibility to do whatever they want with the rest of this offseason. You're looking at a team with $40 million of resources if they want it. They could bring in Trent Williams and Shaq Barrett if they want to. They could also sit in the weeds after taking 1 or 2 players and wait for all the money to dry up. And as that money dries up, anybody who wants a 1-year prove-it deal to go chase a ring, come on down. Kansas City is nowhere near the end of the road. And if today points to anything, it's that they're not going to rest on their laurels and wait for it to come to them. They aren't going to play this game by the rules. They're going to move money. They are going to cut every scrap off of this cap that they can. And don't be surprised if Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher sit on the free agent waiver wire for a while because they're coming back from injuries. These are guys that in a typical offseason would get deals in June, maybe July. So Kansas City could always circle back on them if the market isn't there for them. So Chiefs fans, let them hate on you today. Let them laugh at you today. Because your team is aggressive, Veach is aggressive, and he has piggy banks laying all around the salary cap this year. He can be as aggressive as he wants to be. But who's going to get the last laugh? Kansas City. It's going to be you. This just showed aggression's coming. Both barrels. And Kansas City is going to be a buyer in a scared market. As always, love you guys. We need you. Stay strong, and I'll see you on the other side.